Hey guys, it is May 8th, 2025, and I haven't posted a video since April 15th in regard to my Airstar Mongoose refurbishment project. I kind of reached a stopping point because I needed the parts for the servos, specifically the push rods. Just wanted to make a quick video and give you an update on this project. So again, this is my first helicopter build, so it's been a learning process. And when I first got the servos, I went ahead and put these mesh shrouds, whatever you would call these things, over the wires coming out of the servos. But I realize now that that was a mistake. And first of all, I'm going to be putting the receiver right around here on the back of the airframe. So it's very close to the Bavarian Axon fly-barless control unit. And so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take the heat shrink off of here, take this shroud off, and you know, it plugs into the Axon, so it doesn't need to go very far. So I need it to be more flexible. I don't want it getting in the way of this servo arm here. So I guess sometimes when you're doing something for the first time, yeah, I finally got these servos. I was eager and excited to get them into the helicopter, but I've come to realize that at least with this here, this is unnecessary. So what I'm going to do once I take this off, you know, I'll route the servo wire up here above this servo, and then I'll take the excess and basically fold it over like this, and then put some heat shrink on it. And you can use little zip ties to secure those wires. And there are some situations where you may want to use this mesh shroud to protect your wires. And I'm not sure, they might even help prevent like electronic interference. But anyway, it was kind of a challenge to figure out the final pieces of the puzzle on getting this helicopter flying. Was I needed to figure out the correct lengths of pitch change lengths. And you know, I looked on Airstar Mongoose build thread by Kerry Shirley, and he's a very knowledgeable builder of RC helicopters. And the challenge that I faced on that was Kerry's measurements were going from the bottom of the ball lengths, and it was a much smaller number. So I reached out to Mark at Vario, and he was actually wanting a measurement going from eyelet, from hole to hole. I believe they call them eyes, and he wanted it from like the center of the hole. And long story short, and I did find another actual build manual. A friend had emailed me from RC groups. And that said, that the servo, the push rods going from the servos need to be 75 millimeters. Problem was, this is a flybarless helicopter, and that build manual is for a flybarred helicopter, and there is a difference in length. So, but it was consistent that from the servo to the stationary swash plate, that these push rods with the ball lengths need to be set at 75 millimeters eye to eye. So today was a nice day because I was able to find, I needed to find very small screws, 2 millimeter screws, to go through the servo horn to put the ball on there. And with Vario, I went to a hobby shop over in Cincinnati, and I was able to find the 2 millimeter screws, and then the 2 millimeter washers. And these are nice because they're actually lock washers, and this way you don't have to use Loctite. You really don't want Loctite coming in contact with anything that's made out of plastic. So that's beneficial that these are lock washers. So when I got home, UPS was delivering this from Vario. These are the balls, and these are 4.8 millimeter balls, and these are the ball lengths. So I did the measurements, and so I believe that the upper, the actual pitch change lengths need to be around 90 millimeters, maybe even 92 millimeters for these. And so Market Vario was able to help me to figure out how long the actual push rods need to be. So right now these are 40 millimeter, but by the time you add the ball length to each end of it, they should work out to be right at about 75 millimeters. This is a 4 servo swash setup, so I do need 4 of these, and these are nice thick push rods, which you do want some pretty thick push rods for a large gasser helicopter like this. And I realize it's kind of rare for RC helicopters to have a 4 servo setup on the swash, but I like it because it gives you redundancy. So say years down the road, if one of your servos fails, because you have, you know, the 4 servo setup, so, you know, say with like fore and aft, say that your aft servo fails, but you still have the front servo, so, you know, it's still strong enough. It can still push the swash, or vice versa. You know, say the one in the front's not working, you know, so the back one can can push and still pull. So it might not be as crisp of movements, but you would still have control of the helicopter. I mean, you might notice a difference in its handling, but I like it because that would at least give you a fighting chance to get the helicopter back down on the ground and safely land it. And this is a version 2 Airstar International Mongoose, so it does have these removable plates, so that makes it a lot easier when you need to replace your servos. You know, the whole thing comes out this way. You don't have to split the frame and take like one whole side of the frame off to get your new servos in there. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on assembling these, and I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning this up with the wiring. Anytime you build an RC aircraft, you want your wiring to be as neat as possible, and I'm going to do the best I can. This is my first build, and I've seen some guys who build RC helicopters, and the way they run the wiring is like a work of art. It's just amazing.